and this includes Australia, basically PAL regions, are being excluded from owner discounts and free Switch 2 upgrades.
Are you scared?
On 2 occasions,
are
you
the UK worried?
And EU have been excluded.
You have been exclusively excluded.
And we can't just let them get away with it, or it may become a common occurrence.
Are you scared?
Excluded from receiving a 30%
are you worried?
Owner's discount for the Switch 2 version of the game. The publisher. Let's go show you that it's been canceled. We're going to be going off a retail outlet that's been selling it that made the announcement. The option is digital. Now you might go, well, it's backwards compatible. Get the Switch 1 version. Sure, you can get the Switch 1 version. You've always been able to get the Switch 1 version, though, this entire time. Now, can you upgrade from the Switch 1 version? Yes, they do have a $5 upgrade option.
Why I got to pay $5, man? Shouldn't the hardware, you see what I'm saying? And you guys want to call Microsoft anti-consumer when they be giving their audience free upgrades, man. I'm sorry, man. You Nintendo and PlayStation gamers are down bad if you're paying remotely for any of these upgrades.
But that $5 upgrade option is digital.
Oh.
So they just took away an option from consumers. You can obviously tell which side of the coin.
What option was this? It was a game key card. There's nothing to be missed. You know, like I said, man, you know, I actually ended up getting a Switch 2. I got it for $300 from my buddy. And, you know, I've been playing this as of right now. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like I got robbed. I mean, hey, I paid $300. That's practically what you would buy for a Switch. I mean, it's practically new. My buddy didn't even really use it. I already knew it was coming to me, man. I just waited for him to buy it. And it's like, hey, man, I'll just throw you them $300, right? So I technically bought the Switch 2 for the price that it should be priced at. And I still feel like I got robbed. The Switch 2 sucks, man. Don't make that mistake, man. We had a conversation. There was a dude, if he comes watch this video, please, because he was talking about how I think somebody was selling a Switch 2 for $350 with everything, including the dock. And he's like, you know what, man? He went back and said, I still don't think it's worth it. I paid $300, you know, the price that I would if I just bought an ordinary Switch, and I'm still not happy with it. Donkey Kong Bonanza is pretty fresh. Still haven't got into World yet, but I'm not impressed with this, man. I'm sorry. Nintendo's just not doing enough. I mean, we already know that. So obviously, you know, Mr. Always Glazing Nintendo, I have a Switch 2 now. So what are you going to say about that?
I'm on here. I'm not a huge fan of game key cards. I also don't vehemently hate them, and I have accepted that the all digital future is coming.
Oh, that's here we go.
What's happening?
Here we go. I mean, at least he's honest, because I mean that is what's actually happening. A lot of you fanboys don't want to admit that. It's even going as far to happen with Nintendo, which we thought would be physical media, right, for eternity. But clearly that's not the case either. So, like I said, I don't have no game key cards, but if I do decide to buy a game key card, it's going to be like, what, $10, $15, $20? I'm not, you know, obviously I'm just paying just to play it at that point. I'm not really buying them to think that I could have a collection or paying $70 for these game key cards. No, I'm definitely not doing that. By all means, definitely not doing that. And if there's always a Switch 1 version, I would prefer to buy the Switch 1 version over the Switch 2 version. Like I said, game key cards are not intended, at least in my personal point of view, to be paid $70 for. Now, if you want to get them on a discount for $10, $20 and play yourself some Chronos, a New Dawn, I mean, by all means, do it because you're just playing it. But understand that you cannot take that experience in the foreseeable future. Just understand that. And if you're fully aware of that, and like I said, go ahead, by all means, buy a game key. You see, you guys thought I was going to be completely opposed by it? No, because I got a few license keys even on my Xbox and PlayStation 5. But guess what? I buy them for super cheap. So therefore, I don't be complaining or having the same problem. But you best believe I would never pay $70 for no game key card. That's something that we ain't never doing at all.
If you want to look at my post on this, it kind of just shows my disgust over the fact that we're
Are you really that disgusted?
Getting rid of something that's not being replaced.
Well, that's them, though. It's not being replaced because of them. If that's what they choose, then, you know, by all means, cancel. I mean, this is looking bad, bro. This is looking real bad for Nintendo, man. Because, I mean, you got to look at it from this perspective. We're barely even in the year 2026. We just started it, and we already having these type of problems. I thought games are supposed to get bigger and badder as time goes on. Well, I guess they all going to be game key cards. That's probably why Nintendo's like, well, at this point, I mean, Nintendo didn't even want to do it at the beginning of the generation and then maybe push it a little bit later towards the end. Nope, Nintendo's like, no, we're going to hit you with the game key cards right off the bat because that's the direction we're going. I think this is unacceptable. I think this is ridiculous. I mean, they got these games on the cartridge on Switch 1, but for some reason on Switch 2, they're not there. And you get an inferior version of the game. I mean, at this point, bro, I feel like I got robbed, bro. I paid $300 for a Switch 2 with everything working pretty nice. I could tell my friend never used it. And I'm still disappointed. I really am. It's just crazy, man. Like I said, man, anybody going out there looking to buy a Switch 2, bro, take it from me, bro. You know how you buy a new console and you're like, oh yeah, let me, bro. I don't feel like, or I bought this new console. I'm probably gonna finish the games I purchased, obviously, and then I'll probably get a few of these $10 game key cards down the road to play them on my Switch too. But by all means, I'm not passionate about it. I'm not like how I did when I first opened up my Xbox 360 or when I first got the PS2 and started playing it for the first. Those feelings are long gone. I don't even feel like that no more. I don't. Even when I got the Xbox One and PS4, I still had it because of the greatness of the 360 generation going into the next one. But then at that point, it was severely underwhelming. And then, I think a lot of gamers just started acting like this, complaining about everything. But rightfully so, because the gaming industry has let them down, though. That's why.
They probably knew the pre-orders were low, and thus NIS America probably just didn't think it was worthwhile to put out that game key card, because what if it's like 10 orders? It's such a small order, and
10
the cost
orders
to make those 10
orders,
boxes
bro.
and everything might just not be worth it. So, whatever. That could literally be the reason. And honestly, I think if the controversy was just, hey, they canceled it because people didn't order it, fine. Yeah, I guess you could celebrate the fact that people didn't order it.
I mean, technically they did it. I mean, if we're talking about 10 to 11 pre-orders, I mean, that's practically nobody.
Thing. But we don't know that that's the case. And I do think it's really weird.
It's most definitely the case. That's why it got canceled, because there wasn't enough people that pre-ordered it. I told you, man. That's why third party has says the sales for the Switch 2 have been the lowest of the lowest expectations. Gamester with another W, man. I told you guys, Nintendo, this was going to be a problem for Nintendo. Oh, but we got 19 million. Oh, here we go. We got 19 million. You're just an Xbox fanboy. Yeah, blah, 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 whatever. I got a Switch 2 now. So what are you going to talk about now? Now you have no argument.
The celebrate canceling of a consumer option, because
here we go. He didn't say consumer friendly option because there's nothing friendly about it. But now you see, you're accepting mediocrity. So when the next Zelda comes out on a game key card, don't complain about it. Are you gonna accept that as well? Just like y'all did with Poketopia? I'm telling you, man, Nintendo is grooming y'all to start supporting these practices. We need the Nintendo community now to speak up on the behalf of this. So I'm happy. Yes, I'm most definitely happy that this copy got canceled.
Unless if you like game key cards or not, they're not technically 100% the same as buying off the eShop.
Oh, here we go.
Because you can resell them.
Oh,
you can borrow
that's funny,
them.
Nintendo Pride, because when it was PlayStation and Xbox, you were saying the main purpose of the Nintendo Switch 1 was because of physical media and how you could trade it and sell it and all that and have actual ownership to the games that you bought. Now, fast forward to 2026, you were telling people it's okay to have a game key card. What do you mean? Ain't nobody want to buy that. The only time I want to buy it if it's $5, $10. And that's just me to play the game experience. That's not for me to build a collection on.
To anyone.
That has no value. It has no value 20 years from now. Can we all agree? It has no value. Those astronomical prices of $200 Mario Karts and all that. Well, those days is over because the game ain't on a cartridge. So why would you even pay that money to begin with?
People in your little, Nintendo family account, you can borrow it to anyone by handing them the game in person. And
you can do it digitally through the game key card option. The game key. What is it called? What is it called, bro? I can't remember. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The license, the game. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, right? Or something, whatever. You could do that online anyway. I could say, hey, buddy, on my family plan, you can play this game. Oh, but it's not physically, though. Bro, no way, nobody's physically going to want that crap.
So, there is a difference, and that is
Oh,
a
here we
big
go.
key difference because
Big key.
I know
Emphasis on the
we want
key.
physical to stay around. I'm not anti-physical.
You sure?
I would rather every single. I walk into the store that every single key card I see, including Pokopia, was just a physical game. I would prefer that.
I would hope
but
so.
I'm not going to just not enjoy games because there's only a digital or key card version. Because to me, it takes away from the point of gaming. That is to play the game. That's it.
Which is true. But who's to say that if I love the game, then I want to play it 10 to 20 years from now? Why do you think people still love the games from back in the days? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl, because they can go back and play it like they remembered it, bro. What are you talking about? People love video gaming. You know, as much as how bad gaming is, people enjoy playing their games for as long as they can live, bro. And you guys are out here saying that you put all this trust in the company. We're just playing games, bro. Well, 20 years when I'm an old man, I want to go back and play whatever this game he was referring to. I want to play that game 20. Oh, sorry, you can't play it because the Nintendo service is cut. What? I wanted to show my grandkids. You know, you can't even show your grandkids games. Remember, like, you know how, hey, look at this. I'm going into Retro Jakes. Hey, man, take it easy. That's how Nintendo, they robbing you easy. You know, hey, can I buy Super Nintendo? I want to show my son the good old days, you know, like how we used to play. Oh, what you want? Which GameCube? You want this GameCube? Yeah, I want to get the GameCube, you know? But you got Nintendo selling you $70 game key cards and telling you to take it easy.
We literally game for the game. I've been digital only on my PC forever. I'm not going to stop buying PC games because...
But PCs ain't going nowhere, though. See, that's what you don't understand. They're always going to keep distributing PCs because PCs have more of a purpose than just video gaming, which would also mean that they will still continue to push out those level of PCs. Unlike Nintendo, that once they're done abandoning the console, they forget about it like they did with the Wii, DS, 3DS, all the games that you purchase, on those devices, you cannot access, no more.
Physical option. So why would I stop buying console games if there's no physical option? That would just be, like, ironic, stupid.
And this is why people said, you know what? At this point, go PC.
I've accepted the all-digital future. I have a ton of digital games on my Switch 2. In fact, let me just show you guys here. Seriously. Digital. So I think it's just weird. We're in this situation where people are celebrating an option removed.
You call that an option? What? I might as well not even have that option. If you're not going to do a proper physical, at that point, you might as well just make the game digital at this point. Who cares?
Literally removed, not being replaced, and acting like that's
and whose fault is that? That's the fault of the company. As a gamer, I feel no sympathy. You give us what we want. I'd rather have people demanding these things, so eventually, hopefully, as time goes on, we might possibly get some legitimate physical games. People like you is only going to make things worse. You know what NIS America is going to learn from this? To not bother with the physical version at all next time. So we have to, suck up to the corporations because if we don't, we won't get nothing physical. We won't get nothing but a code in the box like Split Fiction. We gotta be on our knees paying $70. You see, you gamers have lost the power. You've lost it. You don't have the power no more, man. You don't have it. This is crazy, bro. I thought Nintendo gamers, I thought y'all had the power. Nintendo Power Magazine? Y'all ain't got it no more? Y'all letting the companies, the corporos, dictate y'all? Wow, bro. That's crazy.
eShop only.
Completely dictated.
Dare we say a code in box? Like, that's the fiction? That's what.
And you got it in your head. Like, it's crazy. You bought it, though. You bought it. Yo, he bought it, though. He bought it. You the problem, buddy.
Or dare we say a code in box? Like,
you bought it.
That's the fiction?
I hope you bought that for $20 new, man. I really do, man. You couldn't have bought it used because if it was used, the code would have been used too. You paid $50 for that crap. A code in the box. Damn.
That's what you're pushing towards.
It's a nice box,
you're not
though, right?
actually going to make a company doing a game key card like Bravely Default here at
Wow.
Square Enix. You're not going to convince them to do what Cyberpunk did and put it on a physical copy by just boycotting game key cards. All you're going to convince these third parties to do, who already are competing directly with Nintendo and don't sell as many copies as Nintendo games in general, all you're doing is encouraging them to just go digital only to begin with. Like so many indie games
So
do.
people have to accept that. Then you know what, guys? Then we got to take the war even further than that. No digital either. They're going to get the message. Yo, no, I'm just saying, man. I feel bad for Nintendo gamers, man. You know, even though they got 19 million shipped consoles, you could tell that there's obviously a huge demographic of gamers, of Nintendo fans going against this, bro. You know, if that's the case, then we can't go digital either.
So now we're talking about publishers that could be doing game key cards.
And I honestly think Nintendo doesn't care because all that does is emphasize that you to buy their games if they put it on a game key card over your competitor. I think this is a purposeful strategy that Nintendo's trying to do to gauge money from their audience by not caring about the third party, just like what they did with the N64. It's either you get in or you get out. And I think that's what, I mean, it seems like Nintendo has abandoned third party.
Could be doing full physical, and them saying we're not going to bother.
Damn. Oh, well, pay $70 for the code and boxes.
Celebrating this.
Oh, we celebrate.
And celebrating this specifically, like in the way that Does It Play does, which I love what they do. I use their website all the time. But
wow. You know what? I'm done.
Go back to full physical. It's just going to push them even further and further away from it. So then you only can get a code in box, or only can end up getting...
Why do you Nintendo fans always accept everything, bro? Why do y'all do this? I thought Nintendo gamers had... Well, we already knew. Y'all don't have no backbone. But I'm just saying, I thought y'all had a backbone. Why can't y'all just buy the game key cards when they $10, $20? I mean, I've seen them. They be going real low, guys, because people... Like, there was even a guy in his comment section saying, yo, some stores don't even want to carry them because the value of them drops low and nobody wants them. So they only can sell them for $10. Really? That's what I'm going to be paying for. I just showed
you tons of digital games. Right?
Yeah, like as if I'm not the one responsible for all this. Game keys!
Digital, and one of those...
You know, like I said, man, at the end of the day, you Nintendo fans got to do better. I got a Switch 2, so therefore, I'm a Nintendo Switch 2 fan. But nah, bro, this system sucks, man. I'm going to probably get a few more. You know, a lot of people didn't think I was going to get a Switch 2. My buddy dropped it. You know, he said, I just want it out of here, man. I was like, wow, I gave him $300 and I ended up getting my own games, right? Stuff like that. I think he sold his own stuff. So yeah, that's how he was done with it, man. I'm done. So I ended up buying, I got the 2 games, as you can see, physical copies. I got Donkey Kong Bonanza and I got World. But like I said, I'm not happy. And if I do pick up some game keys later on, understand that I'm not paying $70 like you people, like you fools are doing. I'll buy it for what it is, and more likely it'd probably be off eBay. So Nintendo ain't getting my money directly. So like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. This is definitely a huge problem going on within the Nintendo community. As you can see, Nintendo Prime, he's just shocked. You know, he don't know what to do, but he's saying that if we don't support these $70 game key cards, then companies are just not going to come out with them. And they're not, because guess what? They're not making the money. At that point, they're just selling you the game at a discounted price, right? Companies want you to buy the games for full value. That's why they said, you know what, people ain't going to buy this. We're going to print out a bunch of game key cards, and people like GameStop are going to be buying them for $10. That's what they knew. That's what people have been doing. So this is a bad problem. So companies don't even want to do pre-orders on games and print out games because they know that as time goes on, the value of the game is going to go down, and you're going to buy the game. You're going to buy the game for $10 because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not paying $60, $70 for these damn game key cards. If Nintendo goes digital with it, well, then by all means, I got played. Take care, guys. Peace out.